warming blanket.
Falcon and Winter Soldier is a Disney Plus TV show that is also obviously a Marvel show. Marvel, as many of you probably know, I definitely have a lot of criticisms for, like the MCU, but it's also something that I've been watching since, 2009, 2010. And I know what a lot of you are thinking. The MCU started in 2008. I started it a little bit too late, like a year or two late. But the thing is, a year or two might not sound a lot to a lot of people, because I know a lot of people actually that didn't start watching it until like Avengers. But in the film world, a year or two is a lot, So for myself, I am invested. I've seen 20 plus MCU movies. Obviously, I believe they're at 23 MCU movies, about to be 24 with Black Widow, and then I believe 2 TV shows now. This is something that, for crying out loud, I have a fiance, and I know for a fact that when we have kids and everything, our kids are going to be asking about this. And at that point, it's going to be like James Bond franchise, So I just feel like it's one of those things where it's our generation's Star Wars, our generation's James Bond, where it's something that probably will never end. So I may as well continue watching it, right? And the other thing is MCU it brings everyone together. It brings film buffs, it brings film critics, it brings comic book fans, and just casual goers alike. It's something that, although I'm critical of the fact of the filmmaking as well as what it's done for the industry, I do have to say it's nice the fact that it brings everyone together. And the reason why I'm saying all this is because Falcon Winter Soldier, despite me feeling very mixed about this, as most MCU movies are, this show is no different. I feel mixed about it. I do want to give it props for that. It brings everyone together week to week. People would talk about it. People would have theories. It's nice, It's nice to be able to have that, as well as just have it where there's certain characters that probably would not get developed if not for being on the TV format. I don't know if Falcon Winter Soldier would be developed if they were done doing a movie by themselves. And honestly, I think it's also because the show has it where obviously they put money towards it, but they didn't need to put as much money as if they were to do like a movie. Because a movie, obviously, it's like probably gonna be $200 million, and it's like, are people going to want to see Falcon Winter Soldier for $200 million? And it's like, I don't know. So the fact that they were doing a TV show, it's a safer bet for sure. But I am glad that they did that because obviously it's like a tie-in. And honest to God, Anthony Mackie, I've always been a fan of. I think that he is such a great actor. So to see him hit the mainstream the way he has now, it makes me happy, man. Like, I still remember seeing him in $1 Million Baby and hating his character. And now, 17 years later, I'm watching him with Falcon Winter Soldier and I'm digging his character. It's nice. It honestly is. But the standout in terms of acting of this show, it has to be Wyatt Russell. Wyatt Russell is someone that he's a great actor. He really is. And I know that a lot of people hated his character, of this show. But that's kind of the point, is it not? Like, you're not supposed to love his character. He is someone that is morally gray. So, you're not exactly supposed to be rooting for him. But he's someone that does give some depth, honestly. And I really do feel that his character was the best of the bunch. I wouldn't mind seeing a spin-off show of this character. Just throwing it out there, I wouldn't mind. Because I just feel like he's been through a lot. And I feel like he has the most baggage of the characters of the show. So when they did focus on him, I was intrigued. One moment in particular in episode 4, which, by the way, episode 4 is hands down my favorite. Episode 4, at the very end, there's one moment in particular involving Wyatt Russell's character, John, and I thought that was great, honestly. It reminded me a lot of The Boys, and I was surprised that Marvel went there. So props to them. The other thing is that the action scenes are diverting. Now, there's no action scene where I was like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. But it definitely was entertaining for what it was going for. So there's that. And also, in keeping aligned with the Captain America movies, the gray hue-based cinematography, I found it to be dull, but I at least like the fact that they're keeping with consistency of the series, so there's that. Visual effects, nothing like mind-blowing, but it is something that is good. There weren't really any moments that stuck out where it's like, oh, that's CGI, but there were definitely moments where I was like, why not? Cool. But in terms of positive, that's kind of where it ends. I don't hate the show. Again, I feel mixed, but there's nothing per se that I hate in this show. It's just more along the lines of there's a lot of things that I felt like were either uninteresting or just, I don't know, just unfortunately were dull. I didn't care about the story. I didn't care about the plot. These are two things that honestly for a lot of people are the most important things. And for me, I think both are obviously important, but not the most important. But at the same time, this is a show that is focused a lot on both. So because it's focused on a lot of both, it makes it stick out more when the fact of the matter is there's not that many stakes. There's not a lot of stakes in the show. And I'm not saying like I want there to be a beam coming out of the sky or anything, but I just felt like because you didn't really care about either of those things and because it was just so low stake, as well as, let's face it, there's a lot of focus on events that were too mundane, I feel like, for what the show was going for, like the huge contrast of like the action scenes. So I get why some people might like that, but for myself, I just found it to be unfocused. And I know that's something that a lot of people are not going to want to hear, but I just didn't really find this show to be that focused. WandaVision, it had a set goal, and it knew what it wanted, and it knew what it should be, and it achieved it. Did I have a lot of issues with that show? Sure. But I think WandaVision is a lot better because at least it was experimental in the first couple episodes. Falcon and Winter Soldier, it just unfortunately is a drag. You have one-dimensional villains, unfortunately, which is a shame given the fact that Killmonger and Thanos are both two very interesting villains that Marvel definitely stepped up their game, but I guess they're back to the old tropes. Dialogue also is just, it's not engaging. There's nothing really memorable about it per se, but it's not bad. It's there. But yeah, I mean, I think that's where I'll end it because, again, I don't want to hate on the show. I don't. I know a lot of people that like the show, and I'm not one of those individuals now. I was 3-4 years ago where I was like, how dare you like it? But now I'm just kind of like, it's nice the fact that people do enjoy this show. It is. Because, you know, for crying out loud, this is a series that it has its fans, it has its detractors for sure with depictions of certain characters, but at least there are people that are able to thoroughly enjoy this. And I applaud them for it. For myself, though, I felt very mixed. I wish that the filmmaking was a lot stronger. It's not bad or anything. Again, especially for a TV show, it's solid. But I just kind of wish that it went more for experimental approach, especially given the material. And I wish, honestly, that the writing and the story and the characters were stronger. And honestly, more focused on why Russell. But again, like I said, if you dig the show, I love it. I'm glad the fact that you love the show. But for myself, I'm indifferent to it. And that's why Falcon Winter Soldier, I'll be giving a 2.5 out of 5-star rating. So, yeah, no hot sauce. But again, guys, very much so curious to hear your thoughts on this show. Comment down below. And which do you prefer, WandaVision or Falcon Winter Soldier thus far? Also, are you guys excited for Loki? Similar to Falcon Winter Soldier and WandaVision, I have not seen the trailer for Loki, but I'm curious for sure. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscription, notification bell, and I'll get you guys later.